Jets lose 13-11, now 0-6 on the season. And this wasn't quite the same game that we've seen throughout the first 5 weeks. There was noticeable improvement, especially on the defensive end. Right. Special teams was very good. But my goodness, the offense was about as bad as we've seen it. Justin Fields making so many of the same mistakes that we've talked about here throughout the first 5 weeks, and pretty difficult to believe that this is how this one went, and the fact that Justin Fields was not taken out of the game at any point, staggering to me.
Yeah, I said it in the pregame. The fact that we were sitting behind the curtain talking that when they rolled out Justin Fields at halftime, I'm like, how is this possible after the way they produced in the first half? And the Broncos did what they always do. They load the box up with 8, and they play cover 2 behind it, and they mix it up with man, and they just kept him on his heels. And we know Justin Fields, one of the mishaps coming into this game is that he holds on to the ball. And you can say he was looking at the rush, he was looking at coverage, and a lot of the throws that needed to be made had to be on time with anticipation. That's not a strong suit for him, and the Broncos knew that. Running the ball wasn't a factor because Brees got his touches. It was more body blows than explosive runs, and it just wasn't enough. And I feel bad because I thought the defense really stood up tall in the second half, and they just weren't able to come out with the W.
That's the tough part in this. This feels like the week where the defense came together, right? They got a little bit of a shot in the arm, not only from the return of Jermaine Johnson, but Jarvis Brownlee was out there making plays, one of their new slot corner. And guys were rallying to the ball. They were playing with some fire, without a doubt. But the offense, at the end of the day, unfortunately, the ending felt a little predictable. The defense gets them the ball back because they pinned the Broncos back, where the Jets needed about, 25 yards? Yeah. And the reality was, the fact that the Broncos were conservative and basically said, we don't think you can get the 25 to 30 yards for the field goal, says everything. Mm-hmm. And this is a tough situation for Aaron Glenn because he clearly wasn't comfortable going to Tyrod Taylor, but because I think for the future he wants to play Justin Fields. But I'm a believer that the Jets win this game if they went to Tyrod Taylor. 100%. And not even in the second half. I think in the fourth quarter. Think about how many opportunities they had, short fields they had. So it was a poorly managed game. It was a poorly played and called game from the offense. And that's a shame because the special teams and the defense gave them a shot today.
And I think you're 100% right. When you see your defense perform their way in the second half, at some point you got to go to the young fella, we tried. Mm-hmm. And now it's about getting your first win on the road that you now can build momentum on. And you're talking about a Broncos team who didn't do a lot, right? Bo Nix wasn't great. This defense wasn't great. They were able to stand up and play big at times, but this Jets offense right now has to be able to do more, especially when you have a defense that's fighting and scrapping like they did today.
Yeah, and I think, when we talk about making the move that wasn't made to Tyrod Taylor, where it really just stunned me was coming out of half that it didn't happen. And that's because of what happened at the end of the first half with that, it was an inexplicable final drive of that first half, to be honest with you. The Jets got the ball back with 3:22 to go in the first half and essentially just punted on that drive. I mean, they just ran the ball, did make the attempt the fake.
That's the problem. They emptied the bag with the fake and then did nothing with it after it worked.
But it just was so obvious that the Jets coaches did not trust Justin Fields to try and make something happen down the stretch of the first half. And if you don't trust your quarterback to throw the football in that scenario, then he can't be your quarterback. And so it felt to me, and I know we were talking about this, guys, like, okay, the only explanation for this is that they just want to get to half down by 4 and then they'll make the quarterback switch. But the fact that then they go right back to Justin Fields makes what happened here even more infuriating.
Yeah, and on top of that, when you talk about not being able to throw the ball, with your quarterback, what does that tell to your rest of your receivers, right? Like, this is that you're saying, like, hey, man, we're in trouble, right? Like, when you see Garrett Wilson in the ear of Aaron Glenn, he goes, dog, I don't know what you need to see, but we've seen enough here. Like, it's not personal when it comes to business. This is about winning, right? And so when you see the lack of production throwing the ball, Justin Fields not seeing the field, the run game is stagnant at times. If you're Aaron Glenn, you said it right, Connie, it now becomes malpractice. This is about mismanagement. At this point, what are we doing to be better? And if you come out at halftime, you understand, halftime adjustments aren't about just saying what you can do better. It's about who gives you the best chance to win. Right. At all costs. That's what it's about. And for the fact that there was no adjustments, man, it's frustrating because they had a chance to win this game and it would have been big for the Jets.
And the balancing act really isn't that difficult to me in this scenario where Justin Fields is on a 2-year contract. He's a bridge starter this year. If you sit him down in this second half, I think you're more worried about the balancing act of your locker room and your team, and you're going to take the risk with him being, emotionally disappointed or whatever it may be.
It's big boy football. You got to get over that.
Exactly. Yeah. I think the argument would be why they didn't want to sit him down is they want him to play out most of the season, but the other guys are going to be really frustrated, but as they should be, because they played well enough to win today against a team that a lot of people think is a Super Bowl contender, by the way. Like, let's not lose sight of that. This wasn't the Panthers. This wasn't a team where the Jets were favored going into this game. They were 7.5-point underdogs, and that makes it hurt even more.
For this offense, the way Taylor Armstrong's trying to get these things going, he wants to get yak. He wants to get the ball in his playmaker hands where they get the ball and they can go. When the ball's late and they have to readjust that, now they have to redirect and do all these things, and the yak isn't there for them. So it just keeps the offense behind, man. And I hate, and I like the young man, so it's not personal. But at this point, if you're the Jets, man, seriously, what are we doing? Because we've seen enough tape and we have enough data to understand he's not confident enough to play the position right now and be a need.
This isn't a rookie quarterback either. That's the thing, too.
Like, fifth year.
This is somebody that you can almost deal with it if he's a high draft pick for your organization. You put him in as a rookie starter, and all of a sudden you're saying, well, the processing isn't quite there, but he'll get there with more reps. This is years of tape that have shown the exact same thing. It's not getting any better. So when you talk, Connor, about the future of this organization and Aaron Glenn not going to Tyrod Taylor because he wants to feel comfortable with Justin Fields and the future of the organization, I don't know what future you're talking about here.